In a small village on the border of a great empire lived a boy named Lior. Lior didn't have a mother. His mother died when he was very young, and his father, who was the village blacksmith, had a huge broadsword hanging on the wall. It was passed down from his ancestors and was the village's trophy, its symbol of courage and defiance. But most of all, it was just a really cool sword. And one evening, news arrived that a small army of mercenaries would be moving through the village. There was no army to defend it, no cavalry, no archers, only 7 old men, Lior's uncles, and they were all that stood between the village and the mercenaries. Lior stopped at the door of his father's forge, grabbed the sword and ran out into the village square. "I will not fight skillfully," he said, "but I will fight rightly." And with that, he charged into the forest to get the 7 old men. They stood in a circle, each with a gnarled staff in hand, facing the road leading into the village. When the mercenaries arrived, they found a village with nothing, no livestock, no food, no supplies, not even a single person. They looted a few houses, found nothing, and moved on. But the village was empty because every single person had fled, except for the 7 old men who stood with their staffs raised, barring the way. The mercenary leader scowled. "Where are they all hiding? Where are the villagers?" "It is not bought," said one of the old men. "It is not sold, but it is freely given. Are you looking for this?" The old man pointed to the sword in Lior's hand. The mercenary leader laughed. A cruel, humorless sound. "So you would give up your lives for this? How quaint, but what use is a sword without its sheath?" With a flick of his wrist, he drew his own sword and charged. The 7 old men stood firm, their staffs held high, and Lior knew that no matter what happened, they would stand as one, united and strong, for their village, for their homes, for each other. He knew also that when the sun rose the next morning, the battle would be over and the mercenaries would move on, leaving them with their victory and their lives. And so they would need a new story to tell, a new song to sing, about how the mercenaries came to their village and how they fought them off. But the story would be his now, and he would carry it with him always, the story of how he became the sword of the village. The next morning, Lior put the sword back in its place, but it was no longer his father's sword, it was his.